Alright guys, I'm excited. This is joint hardening of the hands and the wrists and the fingers. So joint hardening number 2. This is more advanced because your hands are kind of delicate compared to your feet. They're both kind of delicate, I'll admit that. So, and a lot of people, they are very delicate. So we're going to start with simply bringing that awareness to spreading our fingers as wide as possible, stretching them out, and then also stretching the wrist out like this. So bringing it back this way, then clench the fist and see if you can bring it back a little bit more. Bring it back towards the shoulders, open up the shoulders like that, and then press it like this, and then also open up the fingers and curl them in like that. So we're opening up all these different ways. We'll go laterally as well, like we're screwing in a light bulb. You can do fingers closed, fingers opening, like dynamic. You can do this. Let's go both ways, and then let's do this. Kind of shake out the wrists a little bit. Go one way, then switch. Then you can do this, like an aloha. And then also side to side. Just shake them out like this, very gently. Alright, and then what we'll do is start very simple, not even putting much weight at all. Just spread those fingers, grab the ground with your fingers and with your palms. So kind of like the foot, the hand has a unique, it's like a hexapod way of balancing. You got the 5 fingers and the palm. And I mean, even in the palm, it's like, I would say a septapod, 7 bases. So you got this part of the palm, this part of the palm, and then all the fingers. So think of it like that, as if you were just balancing on your palm, you would be balancing back and forth, right? So let's start with just the palm and just warm up the palm by pressing into the ground, and then warm up the fingers just with the palm lifted. Press the fingers into the ground, squeeze, and you can even go into this position, so it's like without letting the fingers splay, but you can also let the fingers splay. We'll stretch them out like that to open them up. Stretch out the thumbs. They're good. You just kind of do this. Alright, you might shake out your hands a few more times before you actually get started. And again, everything very gently as you start. You don't want to go into this too quickly. Alright, so first movement we can do is we're actually not really going to focus too much on what the hands are doing, but more about what the feet are doing. So we're going to walk and let the shoulders open up a little bit. Alright, doesn't really matter where I am right now, but it just matters that you open up the shoulders. You can open up to one hand or the other like this. Just keep that whole hand on the ground. And then when you get the hang of it, you can actually walk all the way around. You can use your hand to support, but just keep that hand there. And you're opening up everything from the fingers, the hand, the wrist, the shoulder, the elbow even. You're gonna feel it stretching all this good funky stuff. Do that with both hands. Breathe deep. Allow yourself to be with the movement. Okay? Alright. Next one we're gonna do is from our hands, We're gonna pop up the fingers, pop down, and then lift. Alright, so we're getting all these wrist muscles activated. Do a few of those, shake it out. Next one we're gonna do is we're gonna do the back of the wrist. You can do one hand at a time too if you want to give extra support. You can bend into the elbows a little bit, drop your chest. Again, you can do this at your own pace, your own weight. You obviously don't want to rush it, so slower the better. And different surfaces too. It's a little bit easier on grass or soft surface like a rug than it is here. But I mean, for full purposes, I can do this, no problem. But I also, myself, I need to condition a certain amount before I go crazy. So, we can do this. We can walk our hands out, walk them in. And what you're doing is you're really just putting this part of the wrist on the ground, and the whole hand just kind of lays there on the ground too. And it's really nothing technical about it. It's kind of just that one little area of the wrist, and you don't really want to roll it. You want to keep it on the same area. So there's that. And then we also got our knuckles. So conditioning those knuckles, you can kind of just go along the whole knuckles to start warming them up. So press a little bit into them, and then into the 3 knuckles, or these 3. So these 2, and then these 3, which includes the middle one. So it's really between 4 knuckles, you go 2, 3, 2, 3. Alright? But for my purposes, I usually just go on like the actual 2 knuckles. Okay? That you want to take at your own pace. And then finally, actually going into the tented fingers like this, and just holding that. And you can hold at knees, you can walk the hands out. You could even like just kind of strike things if you want to get really kung fu about it, and just work on all that different bone and joint mobility and strength and hardness. Alright, and then we can go on the edges of the hands like this, roll along. Alright, so we're hardening that part. Really, there's so many possibilities, but that's most of them for your hands. Alright, so I want you guys to go through that again and just take your time and shake out your hands and your fingers. You might crack your knuckles a little bit, and just allow yourself to explore these movements, and then make sure that you thoroughly, but not put the stretch into a stressing motion. So you don't want to like overstretch yourself, but just thoroughly stretch afterwards, gently, and get all the fingers. Gently stretch like this. Gently stretch like this. You can go back and forth too. You can lift the fingers gently, so we kind of get this like gentle letting go. And you can also stretch out the shoulder. Really good stretches. You just put your hand on a wall, make sure that shoulder is rolled back. You just let yourself slide forward until your fingers come off the wall, but your elbow stays as straight as you can the whole time. That really just opens up, stretches the pec minor. As long as your shoulder isn't protracted like this, it's got to be retracted as you go into it. So hope you guys enjoy that. Get super strong fingers and knuckles and bones and knife hands and everything. And till next time, peace out, love, vision, and strength.